Today we're doing a mock test with Garry. Garry, tell him when you've got your test.
I've got my test tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So this mock test, we're going to make it much harder than the driving test. All manoeuvres, control, stop. Garry, tell me how many lessons you've had with me.
Oh, about 20.
20, yeah, 20 lessons, so about 40 hours, haven't you?
Yeah, something like that.
About 40 hours. He's had private practice with the missus. So I'm going to give him quite a hard route, I think it is. We'll see how he does. Have you any questions before we start?
No.
Tell me how you check your powered steering. How do you check your powered steering?
Just make sure it's not light and it's got some resistance to it.
What?
Yeah, it's got some resistance. It's not too light, it's not like...
It should feel light and responsive.
Oh.
Yeah, if it... Where's that dude going? He's not reversing now, busy.
It should just feel normal and easy to turn, but
yeah,
not...
it should look light and responsive.
If it's too loose, it's... That's what's wrong with you.
What?
Where's... This one here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, just turn right out of here then. First minor fault for Garry, it's just for accuracy. The speed's good, observation's good, but Garry doesn't position the car properly, doesn't full lock the wheel straight away, doesn't get it. You should have it more of an angle, and this is why he's a little bit wide from it, but it's still a pass. And turn left. And then left again. Left, and then we're going to drive into the bay, the one where the camera's pointing. Do you know which one I mean?
Yeah.
person out to the right. Minor fault number 2 for Garry. He has to shunt it backwards and then forwards again. Doesn't mess about, looks all around the car and just gets on with it. So well done, Garry. 2 manoeuvres down. Hopefully 2 to go. The end of the road, turn left.
At 12:22 p.m.
Right out here and then that's Sutton.
Turn right, St John's Road.
Pull up on the left for us. Okay, we're going to carry out the control stop. I'm going to raise my right hand and shout stop. Would you stop the car quickly under control instead of small child without control? Any questions? No. The signal I'm going to give you is just my right hand, shout stop. In your own time when you're ready.
At the end of the road, turn left, A690, John Street South. Turn left.
Garry started off really well. All the mirror work's in place. Nice smooth drive, changing gear at the correct time. He sits at this junction for a while. I'd expect him to put the parking brake on. There's no legal requirement to do this, and you don't normally get marked for this. But when a pause becomes weird, Garry, get the parking brake on. Then pivot to the gas. Don't use the gas, just pivot to it. Then when you see a gap opening up, start setting the gas and finding the bite if it's on the level. If it's on the hill, start setting the gas and find the driving point. Can you pull up the convenient place on the left? This is impressive mirror work from Garry. He clocks the national speed limit sign. He then checks his mirrors to see if anybody's overtaken, and then starts to make good progress along this country road. Now, learners always forget to check the mirrors here and record a minor fault if they start accelerating. They do record a serious fault if somebody's overtaking you and you start accelerating, because you could force them in oncoming traffic. But this is good work from Garry. His mirror work is very, very impressive.
Cross the roundabout and take the first exit.
Can you take the next road to the left? On the left. Thank you. Driving when you're ready. Minor fault number 3 for Garry. When he pulls up, he nudges the curb, and he nudges the curb because he's looking over his right shoulder to see how far he is away from the junction. Well, as long as you're 2.5 car lengths away from it, at least you'll be fine. But that's why he nudges the curb, because he's looking over his shoulder. Garry only came into this estate to try and get a parallel park out of it. There's normally parallel park to do along this road, but unfortunately today I couldn't do one, so it's your lucky day. Even so, I'm not worried because I know you're really good at this manoeuvre. I've not marked this, Garry, with a meeting situation, but if it'd been me driving, I would have been holding back 2 car lengths from the red Mini on the left-hand side. Now, there is a car further up where the white car is, and you do go around, but then you see the car coming, you're nipping on the left. Had you not nipped on the left here, pulled in behind the white car, I probably would have given you a serious fault for this down to meeting situations. But you realise and get in, so good stuff.
At the end of the road, turn left, A690, Low Willington, then turn left. Turn left, then turn left. After 100 yards, turn left, Stoner Bank. Turn left.
My learners who watch these videos, do not forget this road if you come along here on your test. It's a really bad bend. What happens is it's like a hairpin bend that comes back on itself. And I've had a few pupils fail here over the years because even though I've showed them it, What happens is they approach too fast, and then they come round the bend. It's really tight. Start jumping on the brake and stalling the car in the middle of the road. I'll be very surprised if Garry deals with this properly. In fact, I'll eat here with a donkey. Wow, well done, Garry. You surprised me here. You do go around in third gear, which is far too high of a gear for this bend. The only thing I nitpick with is I would have gone into second gear before the bend, not after it. You go around the bend, get into it afterward. But the good thing is you don't get flustered. You don't brake what learners would do and stall. You just drop the clutch, select second gear, and then get yourself away. So well done, Garry. Looks like I'm dining with the donkeys tonight. Learner drivers, do you realise that 3 people are killed on these types of road every day of the week? Country roads. Some of the reasons are because they drive too slow and they should be driving a bit faster. People start overtaking, that's where accidents happen. People driving far too fast when they should be driving slower. You can see why 3 people are killing these, because you could get cyclists, horse riders, so you have to be very careful on this type of road once you pass your test. Garry makes good progress along this road. It's a national speed limit. Remember, learners, when there's no street light and there's no repeater signs, it's normally the national speed limit. Garry hits speeds about 45, nearly 50 miles an hour along here. Doesn't do the 60, and he doesn't drive too slow. So this is more good work from Garry on the country roads. Remember, learners, when you're driving on a country road and you've got like a crossroads up ahead, be very wary. Watch for people trying to beat you out, trying to rush out at the last second. So you've got to be very careful.
End of the road, turn left, A688.
This is a very dangerous road to emerge onto. Garry's emerging onto a 60-mile-per-hour road, and from your right it's going downhill. Now, I have seen learners pull out here, just misjudge the speed of the car that's coming from the right and slow them right down and fail. So you need a bigger gap when you've got cars coming from your right at 50, 60 miles an hour. I've seen them go a lot faster. So Garry does really well with this junction.
After 500 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit, A688.
Garry does more good work on this next roundabout. You've got 3 lanes on approach. You've got 1 for turn left and 2 for going straight ahead. Some learners love to pick the right lane. Learners, it's much safer when you've got the choice to go straight ahead. Pick the left lane. Garry uses the left lane. It's all good stuff. Everything's excellent. So well done, Garry. It's been pretty impressive up to now. I really like how Garry looks early and just leaves it in, puts it in third gear and just straight on the roundabout. You can see he's going straight ahead. It's clear. He just leaves it in third and goes round the roundabout. Well done, Garry. Remember, learners, when you have a solid white line next to you, you do not overtake unless it's a slow moving maintenance vehicle doing less than 10 miles an hour or a cyclist.
roundabout and take the third exit, A688.
Garry records his first serious fault. Garry, the third exit is straight ahead for the A1M. This is not right. And my learners, when you watch this, if you come this way on your test, you keep to the left lane. This is straight ahead. It is not right. If any of my pupils fail this on the driving test, I'm going to come back and haunt them. It's 12 o'clock pointing to 1 o'clock. So your class it is straight ahead. If there's no road markings, then you keep to the left lane. What Garry does is he thinks it's right. So what he does is he mirrors and signals for right, which is nothing wrong with that if you think it's right. But when he goes onto the roundabout in the right lane, there's a car behind us in the left lane. Now the car behind us thinks we're going right. So what it does is it starts to accelerate. Once Garry passes the second exit, he looks in his door and puts the signal on, and he doesn't react to what he sees. He should have seen that the car was quite big and it was getting bigger, so what he should have done was just gone back round the roundabout. What he does is he puts a signal on and he slows the car down in the left lane. But this all could have been avoided if he just kept it to the left and classed it as straight ahead. So the A1M is for straight ahead. If you look at the signpost, bit roundabout lesson here, the entrance onto the roundabout is down the middle, so that normally means you give way to the right. The first exit, this red little no through road, it means you can enter that road, but you've got to come back out that way. And this third exit where it says A1M Durham and Darlington, it's showing the exit off the roundabout and it's showing the entrance onto the roundabout. So it's just showing you that it's a dual carriageway, but it's straight ahead, third exit.
Cross the roundabout and take the third exit.
Fourth minor fault for Garry. Garry leaves it very late to signal right at this roundabout. He shouldn't be indicating, it should be the left lane. But he treats it as right, but he signals very late to tell other drivers that he's turning right.
Exit A688. After 800 yards, go left on the roundabout and take the second exit, B6288, Weardale Street. Go left on the roundabout and take the second exit.
Now this sat-nav would confuzzle a lot of learner drivers on the driving test. The sat-nav said turn left, it's the second exit. So what that means is you do not signal left on approach. If you signal left on approach, that means you're going to take the first exit, and if there's a car on that first exit ready to emerge, then you could cause an accident. So when the sat-nav says to you, turn left, second exit, you do not put the signal on until you pass the first exit.
I'll direct you back to me. Can you pull up on the right hand side of the road? Can you back it up 2 car lengths? Keep it close to the curb.
Yeah, well done, Gary. Excellent. Everything about that there was really good. Well done. Good observations, good speed. You were aware of everything around you. Accuracy's fine. Well done.
Take the next road to the right. Next right.
Gary's indicator comes off, but I don't mark it because it doesn't really affect any of the road users.
I'm going to carry out the control stop. I'm just going to raise my right hand and shout stop. Oh, there's another car coming. Just ignore them.
Minor fault number 5 for Gary. Reaches speeds of 34 miles per hour along this road in a 30 mile per hour zone.
Just keep following the road ahead till I tell you otherwise.
Minor fault number 6 for Gary. Gary forgets the signal to leave the roundabout. Learners, you need the signal to leave roundabouts to help other road users enter the roundabout.
Right, how do you think you're doing?
Okay, I wouldn't like to say.
Have you passed the field?
I think I passed.
Oh, Gary, you failed.
Did I?
I don't know how you did. I asked you that question yesterday when you had that lesson. I'll say this to you. Is that straight ahead or right? What did you say? Yeah, 1M.
Yeah, 1M.
Yes.
It's straight ahead, isn't it?
It is. And you told me that yesterday. So it's straight ahead and there's no road markings. Which lanes you pick?
The left.
Right, well, what did you do?
Went in the right.
Now, you're getting away with it, well, you sort of got away with it until we come around the roundabout. So you've indicated right to go around the roundabout to turn right. Now, when you got past the second exit, there was a car in the left-hand lane behind us. Now, that car behind us, where did you tell that car you were going?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Then, because this car knows you're going right, it started to get faster. When you look in the door mirror, you put the signal on straight away. What did the car do?
Slow down.
Had to slow down. So you had a couple of options there. You could have looked in that door mirror and said, oh, he's coming around pretty quick. Then just let the car get past it and then move over. Or you could have gone round the roundabout. Or if you've got two lanes, which lane could you have left in? The right lane, because that car was coming round. But to start off with, you shouldn't have been in the right lane to start with. Yeah. So if you go that way tomorrow, which lane are you going to pick?
Left.
I asked you that yesterday. How did you work that out then?
I don't know why.
I don't know. There's a few, but not many minors. I mean, it was way longer than the 40 minutes. Control at the start, you drove into the beer, you had a correct, I can remember. Nudge curb?
Yeah.
Can you remember you looking over your shoulder to see with the junction? You were way past the junction. When you would turn right this roundabout, you did class it as right. Not a problem with that, but put the signal on very late. Doing 34 and a 30. And about 50 minutes in, you didn't signal leave one of the roundabouts. That was in Durham. Have you any questions before I turn that off?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.